Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
Semuju Ibrahim Nganda, a frontliner, Member of Parliament for Kira Municipality, launching a fourth bid, returning to Parliament. Good to have you all. And Honorable, you for a while chastised Museveni for staying in power forever. Here you are now, seeking a fourth term.
Because I am not in power. See, that's a mistake. The media, you like misleading the country. I am fighting to remove a government, and it doesn't matter. In Libya, it took them 42 years to remove Gaddafi. I want you to begin counting the number of years I've been in Parliament when we have removed Museveni. Then you will begin counting. Now I am in a fight. Why didn't you count?
So does this suggest that you'll be in Parliament for as long as Museveni is in power?
I will fight whether in Parliament or outside Parliament as long as there is a change in government. So Parliament now is the front that I am engaged with. Maybe there will be another front.
Well, it's been 2 days of nominations. What are your key takeaways? What are the highlights that struck you?
Someone asked me that question yesterday after my nomination in Wakiso. I listened to people nominating and the speeches they were making. Maybe people will forgive me because I am a journalist. You listen to someone wanting to join Parliament and he has no clue, he has no idea of what takes place in Parliament. Candidates contesting, some of them contesting against me in Chile, I had one of them saying, I am going to construct public toilets. And I said, do people even bother to read the Constitution? Because the functions and the roles of members of Parliament are statutory outlined in the Constitution. It's like someone coming here asking to be a news reader. And then you say, when I come to NBS, I'll also be cleaning the toilet and be nice to... If you're a news reader, that's what has brought you. So if you go to Parliament, the work of Parliament is statutory, it's in the law. You hear MPs are launching manifestos. I will have a rally to launch my manifesto. So it tells you so much about people who want, the caliber of those who want to contest for Parliament, and people who have not done even the basic preparation to know what an MP does. And I get a sense that because you don't know what takes place in Parliament, even the motivation is different. So that's my general overview. But I am happy this time that police and other security agencies did not brutalize people who are going to, at least in the main. I haven't heard or seen any report. In my particular case, the police largely in my area, Kira Municipality, was professional. I kept wondering, were they nice to us because the NRM, because last time they would allow NRM to hold a rally, when you go there they stop you. So maybe were they embarrassed that you are, but they were largely professional. The only person who disturbed us was a DPC of Kasangati, who was behaving like a drunkard. I met his group, including those who are putting on these Wombola-like uniforms, and they started beating my people between Kasangati and Matuga. And I asked him, the work you are doing is public work. So who has angered you? And if you are angered, is this how you express your anger?
Thank you. Councillor Janet, you're now right in the mud, in the mix of things. What stood out for you in these couple of days, and what kind of tone has been set by this nomination exercise?
First of all, for me, it's been I have been campaigning for the last 60 days, so you can imagine. I am fresh on the campaign trail. Just 6 days. And it's been much learning from our people.
You've been campaigning? Before nomination?
No. You know, you have to correct signatures. You have to tell people I'm going to be nominated. You have to ask people to come and nominate you another second and the rest. So I've been moving around the constituency to understand. And just like Semuju says, the expectations of the people are far above what is statutorily provided for a member of parliament. But I think it has been a legacy of the politicians before, that they want to do much more than is statutorily provided for. And now I can understand why sometimes they don't do well in parliament, because they are busy doing the work that is not theirs.
Boreholes.
Yeah, boreholes. Much more than boreholes. Boreholes, actually, if that's part of oversight, because you represent 4 broader areas: representation, legislation, oversight. That oversight could lead to development. Because when an MP, when your job is to do a budget, when you allocate money for water to say Zimbabwe district, you as the MP, then you can go and oversight and see, were these boreholes actually delivered? Were these roads, the money for the road fund, has it actually been? If you gave a district a road unit, is that road unit being used? If you gave money for district engineer and the entire team. So, but I think they're doing much more than that. And hence, that's why you see the attrition rate. That's why you see nearly 70, I think statistics are about 70%. The same Jews are part of the top 15%. Survivors, yes, these ones are fossils. They've come 2, 3, 4 times. It means there's something they are doing right or doing wrong, but have perfected that wrong. But it's something they are doing that is unique. Because how come 70% of members of parliament never return? Is it? I think here is the veteran of the numbers. He will give us the numbers. They never return to parliament. That tells you something. But for me, it has been a very good experience. Today I was nominated, and after I drove back to town, and I'm here. I was nominated.
Do you feel that pulse of a showdown in Maugora?
Yes. There's going to be a huge showdown in Maugora. There's going to be a big showdown.
The constituency where he has gone, last time, first of all, the current MP is Shatz, who is a daughter of Honorable Sam Kutesa. He, in the NRM primary, I think which they stopped, Fono will tell us, she was contesting against President Museveni's brother.
Sodo.
Eventually they sat down in their room and said, you wait. So this one should go this time. Now they said, you have enjoyed one term. So this is where he has gone. I don't know whether it's part of the family that now they have assigned him to go and contest.
He's going as an independent.
Yeah, but last time it was a family affair. So they sat in a sitting room and told one to leave it for the other.
You can see Semuju knows where the meeting took place. He may be part of the family. A disclaimer is that I am not part of it.
Well, Honorable,
in the sitting room. I wasn't in the meeting myself.
Flavia, it's the second time you're being nominated. What's been so unique about these nominations? Or it's more of the same tradition, different day?
Well, good evening, viewers. And I'd like to thank God that finally we got nominated and got nominations for members of parliament out of the way. It being my second time getting nominated was new, was a fresh experience, because the first time I was totally new. And so everything was different, everything was new. But now we have we have a new electoral commission, more or less, but it felt more in command and more in power because now you're the incumbent, people want to unseat, which is very interesting because last time Kasana district had no incumbent woman MP. The last having gone to Muwende district in the 2016 general election, that was Honorable Bena Ugembe. So when Kasana district was carved out of Muwende in 2017, I was the first.
You'll allow me interrupt you just a second. I need let me get to OO. What makes these couple of days a big show worth a discussion?
Let me first respond to Honorable Semuji briefly. You asked him about longevity in Parliament and power in general. He made a disclaimer that he is not in power. Uganda's constitutional architecture is that there's the executive, Parliament, and the judiciary, and all of those were vested with authority. Power. And therefore, if you're a member of Parliament, you cannot say you are being disingenuous. No. I suspect
the same
the same
constitutional reading says power belongs to people. They have it.
Well, you are part of the people. You are part of the people, and we use in political science. There's a term we use rationalism. It is used done by reactionaries. People don't want to own up the truth. Don't want to be. They make convenient arguments to save their skin. About the nomination has gone peacefully because I said on this show before that we have had a series of meetings by stakeholders and particularly security organs. And we said as part of government, where I've just come from, is that, yeah, and that's also true. Because there are other branches of government where I am that are not obvious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think this time round the security people listened to us, the civilian people in the government, and also obeyed the commander-in-chief's instruction because their behavior, their professional conduct, their overzealousness, and so on, was created many of the publicity, free publicity for our competitors, even when they did not have a point, that became the center of the election. This time, that has been well done. I think also the Electoral Commission management now appears to be grounded. Also remember that the last time they were also new. Maybe they had a timid feet, shaky bodies. They did not know if we put our feet, how would this person respond? But also think that out of the 2021 fracas, even the opposition, many people, many leaders in the opposition also learned that doesn't pay to be confrontational unnecessarily all the time. You have seen, apart from NUP, which has tried to do street bash, the others have generally lived to the agreement that try to avoid unnecessary traffic inconveniences to the public.
What has NUP done?
No, apart from NUP doing street bash, you can see their trail, their campaign trail. They try to do kind of street bash. But police knows that since they have about 5 or 7 engagements.
I think all is talking about street
procession.
Okay.
And that's the bash I was
the
right.
bash
Because you know they are musicians, they are artists, so the bash is more applicable. The police now understood that after all, even if they do that on the street, they have about 5 engagements to make. They are unlikely to be on the street for more than 20, 30 minutes.
Does NRM coming out with 8 unopposed candidates?
No, I'm coming to that. For the NRM, unlike in 2021, the constituency you have referred of his, we had a number, about 3 or 5 constituencies where because of bad primaries, we reached a stalemate. By the time of nomination by the Electoral Commission, we could not conduct primaries again. And therefore, we allowed the NRM contenders to run as independent, including his constituency. That
Maugora North.
Maugora North.
Shatsi came as an independent,
Yes,
right?
and other constituencies. This time round, we have nominated officially in all the 519 constituencies.
Was he single or result?
The direct constituencies, women constituencies, special interest groups. We nominated all. But also, because of the time, we held our election primaries in mid-June, end of June, I think. We have had time to resolve a number of things. And therefore, in many constituencies, there has been convergence, local convergence, and people accept to live for the NRM. Where NRM is over-dominant, or the personality of the candidate is over-dominant. Take the case of Kwania, take the case of Rohingya North. In Kiruhura, NRM is over-dominant. The constituency of Kugonza in Hoima. We now, by this evening, we have 18 MPs unopposed. I know for sure there are many more, particularly in the special interest elections.
But you've also seen disgruntled members, disgruntled former contenders, like Bahati, coming as independent.
There's no election since multipartyism in 2006, 2005, 2006, where we have not had a huge number of discontented members who have participated in the primaries and lost either fairly or unfairly coming back. We have had. But
this time there seems to be a huge formidable bloc. They even had to go and meet the president.
There's no single election cycle where losers have not looked for the president and met them. In fact, in all the previous ones, it is only in this one, by the way, where the losers have appointed a backbencher as their chairperson. That gentleman, SN from Kapelebiong, our current MP Kapelebiong, who, even me, by the way, I have never had the opportunity to listen to him debate on the floor, but somehow they found it reasonable to appoint him to be their chairperson. Previously, they were bringing ministers to be their chairperson in the hope that a cabinet minister, a minister of state, has more leverage in seeking appointment for the president. This time, the losers followed the president up to Arua. And you saw when they came out, they tried to misrepresent the outcome of that meeting, and it compelled the press secretary to the president to issue a clarification that they had not. But knowing the president and NRM generally, we bend backwards because we acknowledge, we are realistic that our primaries, we have not yet reached a level where we can declare that our primaries have no unfairness. Quite often, the unfairness aggregates and is visible.
Well,
sometimes even embarrassing that you find it very difficult to say don't go as independent.
I want to shift to Honorable Flavia, but what does the emergence of the likes of Jet, Bahatis as independents mean to NRM?
No, it just means that we must double our effort in advanced preparation. Once we complete election, and we have, like this year, what you are asking me, we have had out of the 337 members of parliament of NRM, only 101 won the primaries. The other 200 plus lost the primaries.
Incumbents?
So, yes, incumbents. So that's about 67%. My 70%. Yes, plus minus. That is worrisome, especially considering that we have been 2 decades practicing multipartyism. We should be able to prepare internal issues, because what leads to bad internal primaries has been voters membership and voters register. 2, bad-mannered election officials, because bad-mannered, ill-trained hodgepodge, because we pick them haphazard as the elections near. And therefore, they are susceptible, first of all, to make genuine mistakes, but they are also susceptible to be manipulated by candidates and candidacy groups.
Well, Honorable Flavia,
it just says we must begin to prepare early enough.
What signals did you read out of this entire nomination process, and what kind of tone is being set for the campaigns?
I think the nomination campaign was largely this time around a bit more peaceful than before. Although we had some instances where we saw some members of parliament, especially those from the National Unity Platform, not able to nominate. For example, in Bukendea, where we tried to have a woman member of parliament a number of times, and 3 contenders that we had put there for the first time were all deleted from the register, and were sued by court by the incumbent over documents. And then the next the one we replaced with the other 3 up to now, Asio Flores, we don't know where she is. She was waylaid by her team, together with her team, by people that are unknown, and she was unable to nominate as well. So I think for me, that reflects much on what OO was talking about, the predominant personalities sometimes that are within these areas that totally don't want to practice democratic practices, that feel like they are the alpha and omega, and no one should oppose them in any way, and no one should even say anything about them. That's why we have that standoff in Bokedea. We also had a standoff at Kachumbali where we are trying to, one of our people, NUP.
It's not Kachumbali.
Kachumbala.
Mbala.
Mbala. Yes,
Kachumbala.
Kachumbali.
I know how much you love
it is also in
Kachumbali.
it is a constituency in Bukedea district.
Yeah, in Bukedea still. So it's still the same district that is bringing in all those restrictions.
So those were the biggest features.
I think for me those are some of the niches, but also we have a number of women, when I go to that angle, in the gender angle, that have failed to nominate. We have a number of young persons that have also failed to nominate due to the outstanding nomination fees, as usual, and of course the highly monetized, issues with surrounding the nominations of a parliamentary candidate. So I have to come out to help a number of them, although our party also helped over 140 candidates to be with nomination fees to help support them to be able to nominate. But I think at the end of the day, the nominations went a bit fairer compared to last time, where we saw people's suits getting torn up, where we saw rallies,
Statistically speaking, do you want to suggest that this time NUP has been able to nominate countrywide? You have a footprint across the country.
I would say that we have a footprint wherever we've been allowed peacefully to have a footprint, with external factors constant, because we spread out, we have candidates, but we've also supported the process of getting our candidates to nominate. Unlike before, when we are just starting and we are a little bit unprepared, we are actually largely unprepared at the time, because as you're all aware, NUP metamorphosed from the People Power Movement. So that time it was quite different in comparison to now. So I think our numbers have gone stronger.
So does it give signals that this time NUP could have more representation?
Definitely, Simon. Definitely, NUP is going to have more representatives in the Parliament of Uganda. We are confident of that, because we're also confident in the fact that we've got very good MPs, members of Parliament, that articulate people's issues, that speak with the people, that give hope and unity and courage to our people, and that also focus on our message, which is largely to ensure that we focus on the change, that the democratic change and processes that this country badly needs. So I am very hopeful that you are going to see more than 52 members of Parliament from the National Unity Platform emerging in the coming Parliament, the 12th.
Very interesting. Honorable Semuju, how significant is it that this time, unlike the past times, we've had more candidates nominating, And like Honorable Flavia says, NUP has been able to set foot in different parts of the country. Does it speak to anything?
I haven't looked at the numbers. In the last election, I think more than 2,000 people nominated to contest. I am not sure the number has gone up because I haven't looked at it. But the candidates looking for platforms will always be there. Because political parties will hunt for candidates, but there are also candidates who are hunting for political parties. If you are able to provide nomination fee and some logistics, sometimes you may attract candidates, especially because a candidate who doesn't have a capacity to raise nomination fee on his own, and I used to argue in the FDC, the prospect of that candidate winning that parliamentary seat is, I believe all these often opponents who are given, even when they have. Because in NRM, candidates must be given money for nomination, for everything.
But they also pay.
But for the opposition, sometimes the candidates that you will attract, I mean, I've faced it as a Secretary General of a political party. People calling you and say, where's the nomination fee? And then some of them, by the way, fair good candidates. But they tell you they are unable to raise, because you see, for you to win an election, there are things that you must do. I mean, you must be visible, you must print posters, you must either hire or have a public address system. So if a candidate cannot raise 3 million shilling, it's going to be lucky to go through this election. But almost all opposition political parties have that problem. NRM, I think, gave theirs, all of them, including ministers. They all given the money to go and nominate. So there are candidates you attract if the platform is popular, but also contesting. Some people just like contesting. Even a person who has no 1% chance to win will pick nomination papers. Where I am, I think we are now 9. I saw one quarreling yesterday after nomination in Wakiso. I was almost the last. But the journalist had withdrawn during his nomination. They didn't cover it. And then he said, but how comes they have come back when they are nominating Semuju? So there are candidates who, even the constituency, will not be bothered. In the last election, I discovered there were 2 other candidates on the election day itself. I didn't see them at all. I didn't see their nomination. I didn't see them campaigning. I only saw their faces when I picked a ballot to go. In the last election, I think we had 1,200 independents, more than all the candidates of all the other parties combined, something like that. So the spread, because the opposition is limited. First of all, the NRM, this military junta, is also bad-mannered. They have created small constituencies in areas where they are dominant. And you see Opono celebrating, they have MPs who have gone through unopposed. But they have created, I keep telling you here.
Those so far declared they're not coming from small constituencies.
I am now, even Bukede is creation of yesterday. Ruhina is also creation of yesterday. Both
but they are not, even Kira municipality is not long ago.
Kira municipality is 500,000
no,
people.
I'm talking about recent creations.
So it would have been created much longer. But let me not lose the focus. So the numbers themselves are defective. They misrepresent the real situation. I told you here some time ago, Karamoja with the 1.4 million people has 26 MPs and Wakiso with 3.4 million people, just 9 MPs. So our numbers as opposition would have been much bigger than they are if there was any formula followed in the creation of constituencies. And for me, I like going back to Professor Juko. He appeared before the Committee on Parliamentary Affairs. At that time I was a journalist at Mont. And he was telling MPs who put a requirement that just a political party, it must be national in character. I think that's what is also in the Constitution. You see, a political party doesn't have to be national in character. He said the ones that want to take over power will, as of necessity, be national in character. But he said people have a right to form a political party to champion either regional or sub-regional or ethnic interest, as long as those who want to take over power will, that in itself will make them be national. So I am not one of those who are bothered by political parties whether they are national, as long as you have the numbers or you have established the reason for your existence.
Councillor Jet, Zimbabwe, Maogola to be precise, has you as an independent facing off with Sodo, one of those hotspots to watch. But there is also Honorable Theodore Sechikubo coming as an independent. Does this suggest that the independent sentiment is huge in Zimbabwe and there is something unresolved about NRM affairs?
First of all, Maogola North is not part of the numbers that OO gave you where primaries were held. In fact, when I was moving around, people were saying, for us, we have no flag bearer. Because people line up behind a flag bearer at every village.
Yeah, there was a settlement.
Thank you very much. There was a settlement, or whatever you want to call it. But the fact of the matter is that there was no voting. By the time that settlement was reached, the door had been closed. There was no time for anybody to come and conduct that election. I don't know whether that was deliberate or accidental or pure coincidence. So we never had primaries. So there was no primary to talk about. That is why even the candidate who has a flag doesn't know whether he actually has support or not. And that's why I am actually running as an independent. Had there been a window, because I'm NRM, I am a supporter of President Museveni. I have voted him since 1996 when I started to vote as a youth. I have had the opportunity to represent him in the last 2 presidential election petitions at the center. I've also represented the National Electoral Commission. But the door is closed, and Zimbabwe is largely NRM. Now, when you close that door, you disenfranchise many people. That's actually what shocks me, that yesterday, when that candidate was being nominated, the NRM candidates at different places, chairpersons or what, they were asked to go and accompany him, and they refused to go. And he was forced. He had like 100 cars, and like 90% of them were coming from Kampala. So that should tell you something.
I hope this is not blackmail.
No. Check out the videos. You recorded, check the videos, and you know, cars now, we can show you all the number plates.
Can I ask just for my information, if you don't mind?
Yes.
Because I saw NRM announcing a period for people to pick, was it expression of interest?
Yes. So
you mean for your area, that didn't apply?
No. People expressed interest. And then they had a cut-off date. When they had cut off the date, the 2 candidates who were in the race, one withdrew. So clearly, the other one was left unopposed. But you don't know, because you see the flags are given in the fields. by people lining up behind you.
You are an NRM member, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you're rebellious because NRM is offended by independence.
No, NRM is not. Actually, out of about 70 independents, majority of them, nearly 90%, are NRM leaning. What is critical is that you have the voice of those people heard. In fact, even when the president was unopposed, there was a motion. Ask OO. There was a motion to confirm him as an unopposed candidate at Kororo. So when you are unopposed, you don't know what support you have. So we never had. So there is Maogora North has a difference. There was no contestation.
You are contesting against his brother. In their DNA, maybe they are all supposed to be unopposed.
So Semuju,
no, I'm just asking.
Don't take me to your stuff. Me, I want to tell you what happened. So whether the president was unopposed. So for us, we don't want, what we have rejected in Maogora North is that business of choosing for us leaders.
No, you can't go against the position of the political party where you subscribe.
No. I subscribe to the NRM. Yes. I support President Museveni. I also support the right of the people to choose their leaders. And they must choose them. And I have offered myself to be chosen as their leader. And when they vote me, I will go and represent them as their leader. As NRM independent leaning
What is
MP. Your
relationship with Sechikubo?
Sechikubo, we were together at university at some time.
Yes.
I met him today. He was so happy. I met him. We both got nominated today.
Yes.
Sechikubo.
You're both independent.
Yeah. Sechikubo.
And you warm up to each other.
No, Sechikubo is a nice guy. I know him. We are colleagues. We have no problem at all. I wish him well.
So you belong to the bloc that is opposed to the status quo.
No, I don't want to call it a bloc. It's maybe that this point in time, because I have not been a politician. All I have done for the better part of my adult life is legal practice. I have been propelled into politics because we have a candidate chosen for us and we have rejected him. And we are going to reject him overwhelmingly.
While you celebrate the reality of independent, rather people who are standing without rivals, standing unopposed, the Bukedea scenario makes NRM look rather odd.
First of all, let me go back to Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe is finished.
No, because I think there's something that my son here doesn't want to say. NRM did gazette a period for expression of interest, nominations, campaigning, and voting. I think because of the contestation, which was very strong, irreconcilable, almost violent, many people in that constituency, Maogora North, thought the matter should for now be left between Sashi and Sodo. Now, when Sashi pulled out, the time had been closed. Many of these people then had an afterthought decision. And I think Jet here made an afterthought decision because
opportunistically.
No. He has been public about it. After looking at, from his lens, looking at the quality of the person who had now been given the flag without actual voting. For me, I think that was a good procedure. I have no issues with the Sodo. I have no issues with how he came. I really think that NRM did the right thing. Now, I think they must be having a think tank, a group in that area who said, no, we can't be represented by these people, this kind of person. And they have been very
What's wrong with him?
They have been very categorical on the academic qualification. You know, Semuju here is the one who is now overhyping academic qualification as if academic qualification is everything.
You see,
But
you are
let me complete
you are
this.
misrepresenting me. I spoke about competence. There is a difference between academic qualification
And competence. That's
why people of the same qualification are subject to interviews. You need to understand me.
Here has been public
You may
about
have
it.
academic
To
qualification,
say
but no competence.
this person who has been asked to represent us does not have neither the academic qualification
nor the competence.
nor the competence. Yes. And he adds other things that I don't want to add. And so I think that's what motivates him now. I hope he has energized the base of the NRM and the electorate there to say, they have even reduced it to the level of saying this person cannot make coherent, intelligent argument in the official language,
Absolutely.
which is the one going to be used in parliament.
That's true.
Therefore, may not have capacity to digest policy issues.
But Parliament provides staff.
No. This is the argument. This is the argument.
But the staff don't speak for you on the floor.
This is the argument.
They can help you in your office.
In the media. This is the argument in the media. Now, the second issue you raised, you said.
Bukede.
No, I want to finish with that. The second issue you make is that is Zimbabwe the hotspot of independence. These people are now having one independent or two only. The constituency where I come from, I have two constituencies. I have the constituency of West Budama South. The one currently being represented by Honorable Dr. Emmanuel Otara. 5 people, NRM people, or 6, competed there. A former RDC, a businessman, Mr. Maungwe Langa, another person who has been a politician there, LC3 chairperson, and a former police officer, and then Dr. Otara. 6 people. All of them, the police officer won the ticket. The other 5 rejected the results. All of them have come back. So for them, we have 5 NRM leaning independents in that constituency. 5, not 1, not 2.
So that's the hotspot.
Yes, that's the headache.
Yes. In the constituency of West Budama Northeast, the one that currently being represented by Honorable Fox Odoy.
West Budama Northeast.
Yes, Northeast.
And that I told you last time when you were creating these
go and revise your geography in the campus. In the campus, there's a southwest.
It does not mean.
Northeast.
But yours has become a result of subdivision.
No, we are picking, even that campus is a subdivision.
Yeah.
There can be a north south.
So, in that particular one, by end of nomination today, there were 9 candidates. 1 NRM flag bearer,